2. The Twilight of Chaos. Chapter 5. The Hunger of Tautya. At the fringes, where the light of the first stars could not reach, lay an ocean of the turbid chi. What is the turbid chi? O listener, we must dive deep into this concept. It is not simply evil. Evil is a conscious choice. The turbid chi is not. It is the dross of creation. It is everything that order rejected. It is selfishness, violence, randomness, laziness, craving, all in their most primal forms. It is animal instinct, yet with no animal to contain it. For tens of thousands of eons, this mass of turbid chi simply drifted. But then, the 4 sacred beasts were born. Their light was too brilliant. The phoenix song of the vermilion bird, the roar of the white tiger, inadvertently shone upon this mass of turbid chi. And just like sunlight hitting a stagnant pool of mud, something began to writhe. Consciousness is not always bestowed. Sometimes, it sprouts. Chaos began to create its first champion. It did not refine a spark of light. It condensed a hunger. Imagine, O listener, in the universe of order, everything has a purpose. The azure dragon creates. The white tiger judges. The black tortoise protects. Every energy has a flow, a give and take. But in chaos, there was one singular notion: only take, never give. This notion, this primal, selfish greed, began to attract the surrounding turbid chi. It spiraled, like a cosmic vortex. It sucked everything in. It was a black hole of pure instinct. And then, it had enough matter to call itself a creature. It was not born. It aggregated. A vast shape, as large as a nebula, yet not beautiful. It was a chaotic mass of flesh and rock. It had legs, it had claws, but everything was utterly asymmetrical. And most importantly, O listener, it had no face. Where eyes, nose, and ears should have been, there was only a mouth. A colossal mouth, occupying 90% of its body. A mouth with no lips, only a deep void, its teeth being jagged fragments of meteorites. Tautai has appeared. It is the first fierce beast. It is not an animal. It is the very embodiment of greed and gluttony. And this is where we must delve into its psychology. Tautai does not eat because it needs energy. It is energy, a chaotic energy. It eats because it is empty. Let us analyze this tragedy. The black tortoise of the north is the stillness of wisdom, of knowing sufficiency. Tautai is the perfect opposite. It is the scream of deficiency. It is a psychological black hole, an eternal fear of emptiness. It looked upon the universe of order. It saw the azure dragon create life. It saw the vermilion bird resurrect life. They were full. And Tautai, in its chaotic instinct, was jealous. It hated fullness. It wanted to swallow the having of order, to fill the nothingness of chaos. It is a philosophical destruction. It did not want to kill. It wanted to possess. It wanted to consume. It wanted to swallow the 4 sacred beasts, swallow the stars, swallow the light, until the universe was left with only itself, a great mouth, drifting in an emptiness it itself had created. And so, the first champion of chaos took its position. While the azure dragon and the white tiger guarded the stars, they were unaware that, at the fringes, a mouth had just opened. A mouth capable of swallowing a star. A mouth, now beginning to hunger. We have seen how the chaos outskirts festered, giving birth to its first creation, Tautai. It is the embodiment of eternal hunger, the greedy mouth of chaos, the opposition to the giving nature of order. Chaos, in its dark imitation, has secured its first champion. But order has 4 pillars. Chaos must also have 4. Now, chaos does not just hate the giving of order. It hates something even deeper. It hates consciousness. It hates the wisdom of the black tortoise. It hates the purpose of the azure dragon. It hates the memory of the vermilion bird. It hates knowing. And so, Chaos resolves to create a second champion. Not from hunger, but from primal mindlessness. Our chronicle continues. Chapter 6. Primordial Mindlessness. While Tao Tai, the hunger, was busy swallowing the drifting matter at the fringes, in another corner of the ocean of turbid chi, a second condensation began. This time, the turbid chi did not spiral due to greed. It accumulated due to laziness and ignorance. O listener, allow me to dive deep into this concept. Order is structure. It demands effort. The black tortoise, to be the sage, must bear the weight of cosmic knowledge on his shell. That is a burden. Chaos hates burdens. It hates effort. It yearns for a primal state. The state of not having to think, not having to choose, not having to be anything. The state of mindlessness. And this notion of ignorance began to attract the turbid chi. But this time, it did not form a mouth. The turbid chi attempted to form eyes. But eyes are for observing, for distinguishing things. That is an act of wisdom. The notion of mindlessness rejected them. Two eyes that briefly formed were instantly sealed, dissolving back into the mass of flesh. The turbid chi attempted to form ears. But ears are for listening, for comprehending. That is an act of consciousness. The notion of mindlessness rejected them. Two ears that briefly sprouted were instantly sealed. It tried to form arms, legs, claws. But those things are for acting with purpose. The notion of mindlessness rejected purpose. And so, after thousands of years of condensation, what was born was a failure of form. A great mass of flesh, round as a gigantic wineskin, with no head, no tail, no limbs. It was dark red, like clotted blood. Its surface was smooth. No eyes, no ears, no nose, no mouth. It was a creation, without an orifice. A perfect closed system of stupidity. Undone, chaos/formlessness, has appeared. It is the second fierce beast. It is the embodiment of ignorance, blindness, and mindlessness. And this is where we must delve into its psychology, or lack thereof. If Tao Tai is the physical hunger, wanting to devour the universe, then Undone is the philosophical hunger, wanting to erase the universe. It is the perfect opposite of the black tortoise. The black tortoise is the immovable shield, bearing the wisdom of the cosmos, knowing everything. Undone is the undefined mass, bearing nothing, knowing nothing. It does not eat. It does not roar. It does not fight. It simply drifts. It drifts aimlessly in the fringes, like an iceberg of absurdity. And the tragedy is this: anything that is ordered and touches it will be deconstructed. If a ray of light, which is ordered, shines upon it, that light will not reflect. It will be absorbed and forgotten, reverting to its original chaotic energy state. If a stream of thought, an intention, like the notion of justice, of the white tiger, or the notion of creation, of the Azure dragon, flies past it, Undone will dissolve that notion. It is a cosmic eraser. It is emptiness hating existence. It does not want to kill the sacred beasts. It wants to switch places with them. It wants the universe to return to its original state, where there was no order, no chaos, only the still mindlessness of the primal Tao. But it does not understand that it is not the great Tao. It is only the residue of mindlessness. And so, the second champion of chaos took its position. While Tao Tai is the physical threat, Undone is the metaphysical threat. One wants to eat the universe. One wants to erase the universe's mind. Chaos still has two more champions to be born. We have seen the chaos outskirts give birth to its first two champions. One is Tao Tai, the physical hunger, who wants to swallow the universe. Two is Undone, the philosophical mindlessness, who wants to erase the universe's mind. Chaos now possesses hunger and ignorance. But order has the four symbols. Order has the white tiger, the general of judgment, the sword of justice, the one who enforces execution in the name of order. Chaos, in its dark imitation, also needs a sword. It cannot create justice, for justice is a concept of order. Nor does it want a judge. No. It wants a torturer. One who enforces pure violence, not for a goal, but for the very pleasure of the violence itself. It needs a perfect antithesis to the white tiger. It needs the embodiment of malice. Our chronicle turns to a bloodier page. Chapter 7. The Outcast's Vengeance. This time, chaos did not self-condense an instinct. It had learned a lesson. It observed. It saw that order, in its perfection, had a weakness: arrogance. The universe of order, where the sacred beasts reigned, was a place of rigid laws. And where there are laws, there are outcasts. Chaos began to search. It scoured the fringes, looking not for turbid chi, but for a soul of order that had been rejected by order itself. And it found one. In the primordial era, as the four sacred beasts were establishing order, there were countless lesser sacred beasts. Among them was a magnificent creature. A winged tiger. It was not the white tiger. It was a warrior of order, but it possessed one flaw: it was too brutal. When the white tiger commanded the judgment of a band of demons, this winged tiger did not just kill them. It enjoyed it. It tortured them. It played with their fear. The white tiger, the general of justice, saw this and was disgusted. "This is not order," the white tiger roared. "This is depravity. You fight not for justice, but for your own perverse pleasure. You are a stain." And the white tiger, in his absolute judgment, exiled this winged tiger. Its wings were broken, its power stripped, and it was cast into the chaos fringes, left to survive or perish. The winged tiger lay there, dying in the ocean of turbid chi. It did not understand. What did it do wrong? It fought for order. It destroyed the enemy. Why was it punished? Its soul, originally of order, began to feel resentment. It did not hate chaos. It hated the white tiger. It hated the hypocritical justice that discarded it. It loathed the very order it once served. It was the outcast. And chaos felt it. The turbid chi, the ocean of instinct, did not attack it. Instead, it gently soothed it. It whispered to that shattered soul. "Order betrayed you," chaos whispered. "The white tiger is a hypocrite. He kills too, but he calls it justice." "You are different," the turbid chi comforted. "You are honest. You admit you enjoy it. You are true to your instinct." The turbid chi began to flood into the tiger's body. It did not heal the broken wings. It transformed them. The feathered wings of order now turned into grotesque, spiky, leathery wings, like those of a fiend. Its fur fell out, revealing gray, stone-hard flesh. Its teeth grew long, not for hunting, but for tearing. And on its back, a long tail grew, not a tiger's tail, but a bone whip, used for torture. Chaos did not just heal it. Chaos amplified its malice. It turned its brutality, from a flaw, into a mission. Chongqi, Kung Kai, has appeared. It is the third fierce beast. It is the embodiment of malice and sadistic violence. And this is where we must delve into its psychology. Chongqi is the first intelligent fierce beast. If Taotai is the belly, if Hundan is the emptiness, then Chongqi is the malicious brain. It is the perfect opposite of the white tiger. The white tiger judges for justice. Chongqi attacks for pleasure. The white tiger protects the innocent and punishes the guilty. Chongqi, in its ironic revenge, does the opposite. It hates order. It hunts the good, righteous beings, like the white tiger, and tears them apart, because it views them as hypocrites. And it praises the wicked, violent ones, like itself. It will fly in to aid tyrants, aid murderers, because it sees them as honest. It does not just want to break order. It wants to invert order. It wants to turn evil into good, and good into evil. It is the sword of chaos. A poisoned, twisted blade that revels in every scream it causes. We have seen the chaos outskirts give birth to 3 dark champions. One is Tao Tai, the physical hunger, the antithesis of creation, Azure Dragon. 2 is Hun Dun, the philosophical mindlessness, the antithesis of wisdom, Black Tortoise. 3 is Cheongchi, the sadistic malice, the antithesis of justice, White Tiger. 3 pillars of order now have their twisted reflection in chaos. Now, only one sacred beast remains. The Vermilion Bird. O listener, the Vermilion Bird is the greatest threat to chaos. She is not just fire. She is hope. She is rebirth. Tao Tai can eat. Hun Dun can erase. Cheongchi can torture. But as long as the Vermilion Bird sings, order, no matter how devastated, will be reborn from the ashes. Chaos does not just need destruction. It needs that destruction to be permanent. It needs a fierce beast, capable of extinguishing hope itself. If the Vermilion Bird is transformation and moving forward, then chaos needs an embodiment of stagnation and absolute stubbornness. Our chronicle has reached the moment to summon the final fierce beast. Chapter 8. The Chaos of Order. Chaos, once again, sought a failure within order. In the primordial era, as the 4 sacred beasts were weaving the cosmos, there were many accompanying elder gods. Among them was a god of stone and mountains. His name was Nam Thatch, the stone. His duty was to lay the foundations, creating the continents. And he was a fanatic of order. He believed in immutability. He believed in the eternity of stone. When the Vermilion Bird appeared, bringing the fire of transformation, he was horrified. When the Azure Dragon, the king of spring, commanded the continents to shift, creating valleys for rivers, life, to flow, Nam Thatch refused. No, he roared. Mountains are eternal. Stone is immutable. Change is a form of chaos. I will not comply. He was a zealot. He believed his order was truer than the order of the sacred beasts. O listener, we must delve into this psyche. This is a tragedy. This is the moment order became so rigid that it turned into its own enemy. Nam Thatch, in his obstinacy, defied the Azure Dragon. He used mountains to block the flow of life. He created a dead land, a land of absolute stagnation. For that sin, for that arrogance and stubbornness, the White Tiger, justice, and the Vermilion Bird, transformation, judged him together. The Vermilion Bird's fire consumed his strength. The White Tiger's claws tore his divine form. And he, the elder god of stone, was thrown into the chaos fringes. He lay there, shattered. But his soul did not shatter. It merely hardened. He felt no remorse. He felt hatred. He believed he was right. He believed the Vermilion Bird's transformation was a lie. He believed his eternal endurance was the truth. And chaos sensed this golden find. A soul of order that hated change. An elder god who carried absolute stagnation within him. This was the perfect weapon against the Vermilion Bird. The ocean of turbid chi soothed him. It did not whisper of violence like it did to Cheongchi. It whispered of steadfastness. You were right, O elder god, the turbid chi whispered. Change is a deception. Rebirth is an illusion. Only immutability is real. Order betrayed you because it was weak. It chose change. Join us, chaos offered. We are eternity. We never change. We are eternal chaos. Hold onto your stubbornness. Turn it into a weapon. The soul of Nam Thatch roared its agreement. And the turbid chi flooded in. It did not grant him wings. It did not grant him a mouth. It amplified his stubbornness. His shattered body aggregated, not into a god, but into a monster. A monster of pure obstinacy. A colossal boar or rhino made of stone, with skin so thick nothing could penetrate it. He had a great head, but tiny eyes, red with fury. Tao Wu, down got, has appeared. It is the 4th fierce beast. It is the embodiment of obstinacy and stagnation. And this is where we must delve into its psychology. Tao is the most unique fierce beast. It is not hungry, Tao Tai. It is not mindless, Hun Dun. It is not malicious, Cheongchi. It is simply stubborn. It is the perfect opposite of the vermilion bird. The vermilion bird is hope, looking toward the future, rebirth. Tao is obstinacy, looking toward the past, stagnation. If you tell it, the sky is blue, it will roar, the sky is red, and charge to kill you. Not because it believes the sky is red, but because it hates having to agree with you. It is the chaos of logic. It is the one who will charge headfirst into a stone wall, not because it thinks it can break the wall, but because it refuses to go around it. It is brute force, blind, never learning, never changing. And what is its weapon against the vermilion bird? When the vermilion bird sings the song of hope, Tao will roar the shout of obstinacy, drowning out the song. When the vermilion bird tries to rebirth a land, Tao will charge, trampling the land, turning it back into immutable stone. It is the extinguisher of hope, by willful stupidity. And so, our Act 2 concludes. The four champions of chaos have taken their positions. Tao Tai, hunger, against the Azure dragon, creation. Hun Dun, mindlessness, against the black tortoise, wisdom. Cheongchi, malice, against the white tiger, justice. Tao, stagnation, against the vermilion bird, hope. Four sacred beasts. Four fierce beasts. Order and chaos.